Chief, Assistant Chiefs, Major of Operations and Training, and Precinct Commanders. My name is Officer Hood, and a couple months ago you guys gave me the task to come up with a way that we could fix the Savannah Police Department recruitment and retention problem. So this presentation is very brief, however I think it highlights the main points of the problem areas with solutions. I'm going to show you some data, and if you have any questions along the way, feel free to ask. So first, what is the problem? Throughout the history of the Savannah Police Department, there have been times where the department is overstrength, and there are times, as you know, where the department is understrength. The fact of the matter is most police departments experience this up and down flow of officers. However, with the recent demerger of the Savannah-Chatham Metropolitan Police Department and the other nearby cities offering better pay incentives, the rate in which officers are leaving to new officers being hired is 5-to-1. So, as you know, Chief, what that means is for every 5 officers that are leaving the department, we're only getting 1 new officer. So this is an alarming rate as the police department is unable to provide the personnel necessary to be at 100% strength. And the fact that the police department is operating on about 60% strength is an issue and can cause problems for safety, for the community, our response time. A lot's at stake with this issue. So this line graph depicts the Savannah Police Department from 2015 until 2018. Now this data goes from January of 2015 until September of 2018 when I started this project, or October, excuse me. So the line graph shows the number of officers, not civilians, just sworn personnel. So as you can see in 2015 we had a little above 700 people. Now at that time we were the Savannah-Chatham Metropolitan Police Department, and our officer requirement was about 650 personnel. We were over strength, we're at 705. Now moved to 2016, we went down slightly, but we were still above 650 personnel. The 650 line is this black line that's right here between 600 and 700. So we were right at about 665, still over strength by about 15 people. Move over to 2017, and at the end of 2017, right when we were hearing rumors about the demerger of the Savannah-Chatham Metropolitan Police Department, we went down just a little bit to 613. So from the end of 2016 until the end of 2017, with the intake of new officers and the leaving of some officers, our turnover rate was only 2 people, which is amazing. Now we move down to 2018. Now keep in mind, in February of 2018, our police department became the Savannah Police Department and the Chatham County Police Department. So we demerged. However, we dropped well below 600 and we went to 550. Now the staffing requirements for us to be an effective police department would say that we should be at 650 officers still. Even with the demerger, we still have a lot of responsibilities, and to be at 100% strength, we need to be at 650. The unincorporated areas were being covered before by us, but we had a lot of officers leave and go over there. So that's what this line graph shows. So let's just get right down to it. What are the main issues associated with the problem? And I've broken them down into 5 main categories. There's not enough pay, no take-home car for 2 years, rumors of not being able to keep current grooming standards, not being able to keep Class C uniform, and people not being able to get out of their contract prior to 2 years. So let's go over these one by one. Currently, Georgia is ranked 47th in the nation for police officer pay at the lowest, for the lowest pay. So that means there's only 3 states after Georgia that have less pay than we do. Savannah is a very hustling and bustling and up-and-coming city, and has been for a long time, and it is expensive to live and work in this city. Right now, starting out as a new police officer, we make $39,000 a year, which is simply not enough. Let's go to the no take-home car for 2 years. Currently, our policy states that you have to be a sworn police officer for 2 years without an accident in order to receive a take-home car. Now, Chief, there's a lot of police departments in our area that are offering take-home vehicles to officers as soon as they get done with their recruiting part. And so we need to be on their level with that policy, because officers are leaving because of gas money. Myself, I drive an hour to work, so I spend about $200 a month in gas. If I get a take-home car soon, I will save $200 a month, which will feel like a pay raise for me. So currently the grooming standards, specifically these are for the beards. The males in the department that have been able to grow their beards since September 2017 are really worried that there may be a potential that we might have to shave them. And it really is a morale booster. As long as they're kept clean, I think we should be able to keep them. Our Class C uniforms are very, very comfortable in the winter and the summer months. They provide breathability, and they're easier for us to work in. Right now we sign a contract that says that we have to be with the department for 2 years before we can go to another department in the state of Georgia. I understand there's a lot of money that's spent on officers, but some people would like to move other places and on a case-by-case basis. So let's move right into how can the problem be solved? Again, I broke it down into 5 simple categories, and they directly correlate to the issues. So first, increase the pay. That's pretty self-explanatory. Next, give take-home car after completion of the new recruit requirements. Currently, Chief, as you know, we go through an 11-week academy. After that 11-week academy, we're put into an 8-week patrol school for the Savannah Police Department. Once that 8-week patrol school is complete, we go to a 15-week new officer training program where we have a training officer who shows us the city, and we get to actually do things as a police officer, as a sworn police officer. So as soon as all of that time is up, the 11 plus the 8 plus the 15, we should get a car. Keep the current grooming standards. If there are people who violate the standards, it's not a right, it's a privilege. Take that privilege away from them and don't punish everybody. Keep all uniforms. Our Class A, Class B, and Class C uniforms all serve a purpose, and I think it would be an incredible demoralizer if we lost our Class Cs because we've had them for so long. And finally, change the requirements so that officers can leave the department after their training's done. Now, I understand if this doesn't happen, maybe this is a long-term solution you could look into, but I just asked people what their main concerns were, and these were them, so I just came up with some simple solutions for it. So this bar graph here is a representation. I surveyed 100 officers in the department, all the way from patrol training recruits that were just getting their badges to supervisors that had been here for 15 to 20 years. And out of 100 officers, 80 said that they would stay at the department and have no intentions of leaving if the pay would increase. 85 said that they would stay with the department and not think about leaving if they got a car sooner. Right at about 55, 56 people said that if more training was offered and there was a ample opportunity to train, that they would not have any second thoughts about staying with the department. And out of 100 officers, I asked how many of them are actively searching for another job, and about 22 said they were searching for another job. 22% is a big number. If we're talking about 600 officers or 550 officers, you can see we're already at, if that trend continues, we'd be at 80 people that have already started looking for another job. So an evaluation. So let's say we put some of these or all of these into practice. I think we need an evaluation period. And once the decision has been made on which solutions, if any, will be implemented, there should be a 1-year period where an evaluation is done on recruitment and retention compared to before the new solutions were implemented. And Chief and gentlemen and ladies, I think that we will all find that if we do a few of these, especially the take-home car program, and try to increase our pay, I think that we will find that the retention rate in our department is going to significantly go up, which means our hiring will go down, which is a good thing. We want to continue to have officers come in on a consistent basis, but we won't have to hire so many at a time because our retention rate will be higher than it ever has been before. I hope this presentation was helpful. I hope you strongly consider some of the solutions and understand that there are real issues in the department. And if there are no any other questions, I really appreciate your time. Thank you.